Yo, yo, what's happening? Hope everyone's having a good day. We're just doing a little bit of a setup here. Let's get this pop-up chats. We had a decent day yesterday. Khan took a banger trade. We got a decent call out. So not a bad start to the week. We're going to test out the strategy today. What's up? What's up? Zanet 23, what's happening? Appreciate you popping on. Let's get another green day. Let's pin this message because we want another green day. Let's post it on YouTube. Let's pin this message. What's up, guys? What's up? Appreciate you guys popping on. Don't really have a stream schedule as such. Well, I haven't drawn one up, but it's basically 2 o'clock my time, and that's when I go live, more or less, which is in New York time. I think that's 8 o'clock. Yeah, 8 a.m. New York time. Appreciate it, man. Take care. Thank you so much. So, guys, what we're going to do is we're going to try and log on to the charts. Let's see here. Can we catch this one? Yes, we're on. Perfect. Great. Let's start this, start that. Get some background going. All right. I don't add anyone on Discord, Zanet. I've had like 10 to 15 people ask me to add them to Discord. I'm just not doing that at the moment. No, it's cool. I mean, my Discord is not a Discord for trading, or anything like that. It's just a Discord for friends. So I do gaming as well. So I've got a couple of friends on Discord, but I don't have an actual business Discord or anything like that. So this is only where I stream my trading, call outs and stuff. But I appreciate you asking and chatting in the chat. Okay, guys, so let's just get rid of the drawings. This was the trade here, guys, yesterday. I got rid of the drawing, but if you guys, this was the trade here. This was the trade of the day yesterday, guys. As you can see, you would have made a ton of money if you took this, right? We swept the lows on London. We inversed the fair value gap on the 5 minutes. We came down, respected this fair value gap that it left behind, and then we just went. So this was the trade of the day yesterday. So let's get rid of this. Let's look at today. Okay. Guys, this is an indicator that I use. It lets me see the hourly and the 4 hourly fair value gaps and liquidity on the hourly and the 4 hourly. How's it going? How's it going? Thank you for the emojis. Thank you, guys. Appreciate the activity in the chats. So let's look at this. We look at the daily reset, and let's get rid of this so we don't see the lines and stuff. All right, so we've come up. Look at all the previous highs been taken. This is crazy. All-time highs. So yesterday was just that we pumped up. We inversed the fair value gap here. So for those that don't understand, this is what I mean. right? This is on the daily. We inverse this after respecting it multiple times, as you can see. Clear candle up, close, and now there's literally, it's a 50-50 coin toss right now. We've taken the highs, as you can see to the left. We've taken the highs, which is a perfect valid reason why this could literally come back down. Okay, however, because we have taken the highs and we have inversed this fair value gap on the daily, that's a bullish sign. Okay, 100%, man. I appreciate that if you do. Let's look at the 4. Same with the 4. Inverse on the 4, inverse on the 1. It's a very key level here, guys. I'm going to get rid of it for now because it has been inversed, right? Let's look at the 15 minutes. Yeah, this is interesting. There's the liquidity here. So I'm going to draw a line because this is very interesting. Let me just zoom in a little bit to make sure that I'm not screwing this up. Okay, that is the liquidity there, right? Boom, boom, boom. Swept liquidity, inverse on the 15. Respect and down. That's crazy how that just played out. Okay, so now, guys, we are in a 4-hour fair value gap that we've respected. So we took liquidity, respected a 4-hour fair value gap. We're about to close the 15. Let me just see here. There's still an hour and 47 minutes on the 4-hour. Until the 4-hour fair value gap gets inversed, right here, then we could look for another sweep of liquidity higher up. So during Asia session, this would have been a huge trade for you, okay? And this would have made sense. Okay, for everyone who's trying to learn how to trade the Asia session, this white line here was a massive draw on liquidity. It came up, it touched the white line, it came down, right? Then it decided, okay, we're not had enough yet. There's too many stop losses above. We're going to come back up. We're going to sweep that liquidity, which is what it's done. Okay, now on the 15, it swept the liquidity. I'm sure you'll be able to, on the 5, sorry. I'm sure you'll be able to get a better entry even lower down. Okay. We've inversed this fair value gap here that it created. The small fair value gap here and here. Right. Came down. Came up. Respected this fair value gap. Right. So when you see these patterns start to form, then you know. Right. The fact that it respected that fair value gap, when you see the inverse here, see how it left the fair value gap there? Boom, right there is where you take your short. Inverse, straight away. Stop loss above the fair value gap, and you take it all the way down. Look at that. Look at that. That would have been your Asia trade of the day. Boom, right there. Okay. Now, we obviously didn't see this because I was sleeping. But if you were trading Asia session, then this would be your trade of the day right there. Okay. So that is why it is so important to look at liquidity. This was liquidity to the left. These are massive liquidity, right? External liquidity. The fact that it swept it, came down, came up, respected, okay, respected the fair value gap, came down, inversed another fair value gap, giving extra confluence, and then you take your entry on the inverse, stop above the fair value gap, and then you take it all the way down. That is what I mean. Okay? Alright, so right now, let me just look at news, see if there's any news today, guys. We are looking at... Where is the news? There. Today, we have Canada inflation rate at 8:30. So that's what, 14 minutes from now. And then we have tonight, 8:30 is the only real news. Fed wall speech. Okay. So we do have news happening soon. So we have a... Let's just see here. I would like to see the correlation between these two pairs. Everything looks decent. Okay, so the target right now is this. Let's just draw this up. Target is here. Okay. And yeah. Those are your two targets. If price gets up here, okay, by slowly coming up here and create some form of structure like this, then we A for away. Or if price comes up here, accumulates for a while, shoots up, sweeping all of this liquidity to the left here, and then says thank you very much, I'll inverse a fair value gap, then we can look for the lows. Let's look at gold. Gold is interesting, guys. It seems to be struggling at the top here for some reason, because it has been pushing up for so long on the daily. There is a fair value gap here that I've respected, so it is coming back down to that fair value gap, so that'll be interesting. Currently we did not take previous day highs, as you can see, okay, but we have taken previous day lows, so that's very interesting. I'm going to look at the 4 hour just for shits and giggles. Okay, the 4 hour came down, back up, inversed, came up, inverse, well, not yet, but it will inverse. It's very interesting. Let's look at the hourly. The hourly is okay, I guess. Look at the 15. Hello.
Hello, how you going?
Good, good, not too bad.
Cool.
What's up?
Oh, not too much. Let's see, do you still need?
No, I found it on my phone. Thanks.
Yeah, no, I've been talking to someone and bringing up. Sam. Oh!
Well, it looks like I gotta wait to sell it because I've got to get a new logbook. I don't know where my logbook is for the car. So
I've got your spare key, yeah?
no, that's fine. But if I can find the logbook, then I can actually do it.
There must be one.
Probably. But if I get a duplicate one, it'll cost I think 350, somewhere around there. If I get a duplicate one, I'll have to go and put in paperwork, wait 7 days. So
Okay.
yeah.
That's it. We fight for a little while. Oh, dude.
But I did want to put it on, so
Yeah. Let's just have a look through these papers and that container next to you. It's probably where it is.
yeah, I could probably get ChatGPT says I can get about between 45 and 55. Someone will talk me down to 40, so take 40. But I'll probably list it at 50. So we'll see.
Yeah.
But I really wanted to take. I need to go get it washed at the car wash, and then I need to try and once the car wash, then I can take some photos of it, put it on Gumtree, put it on Facebook Marketplace, see if somebody wants it. So we'll see.
That's cool. How many people you got?
I don't know. It doesn't tell me unless I go to unless I go here. Refresh this. It says viewers at the top. 2. Someone else and me.
Maybe one of them.
I think it counts me as a viewer. But it's normally the case, so I'm not really too phased. Yeah. But also I do this because there's recordings of it, so you know, if somebody wants to learn and somebody's interested, then they can look at the recordings. If I get into a routine and habit of doing this, then when the time comes up of me doing my live accounts and everything, I could just do it.
True.
Yeah, but it's probably just cold. It's not frozen or anything.
But it's frozen.
A little bit.
Okay. Cooling, yeah. Yeah, Brody came back with a sore stomach because his tummy was sore at school. He's running around like nothing is wrong with him.
Yeah.
Being Jermaine to try and get string for him because he wants to try and do something and wire. And now
There's nothing wrong with
now
it.
he's got Hunter throwing the ball and running around with him. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it.
Yeah. But I mean, there's only so many times you can say he's playing everybody like a violin. You know what I mean? Like he's playing them like a violin and they are just singing along like it's part of the band. And there's only so much you can say and do.
Did you see that one thing I sent? You probably haven't had a chance to look at it.
I don't know.
It's so good. His father was saying that he's got 2 boys, and when they were 9, 8 and 9, something like that. He walked in and they were like having this huge big fight, and he said they were angry and they were like really cross with each other and they were fighting for real, you know. So he said, "Hey, what's the matter?" So anyway, they said no. They said stop them and everything. They said their faces were red, and they were expecting him to like shout and probably shout and scream at them. And said, "What is the problem?" So the one son said to him, "Dad, I don't know. I was so angry. I got so angry that I could have killed my brother. So I wanted to kill him." And
Yeah.
my brother said, "I felt the same way." So he said to them, he says, but that's fine. He says, "I'm not going to be cross with you about that." He said, that is nature's gift to you. It's training you. Because what happens if a like coyote or whatever grabs your baby sister, what are you going to do? I will go for that coyote and I will run. He says, and if it runs away, I'll run after it and I'll make sure I get my baby sister back. He says, what are you going to do? So he says, I'll sort it out.
Yeah.
He says that's what boys do. So he says everybody's gone through this, and the way that you're feeling now could have like that. If you do, you're not going to do it, but that's how you feel. Is training you for if something like that happens, then you have that in you. That is what a man will do. So he says it's just part of training. Just that, such a lovely way of putting it. You know what I mean?
Oh, I understand. Yeah.
He didn't shout and perform at him, say you mustn't do this, and then he explained it.
Mm.
And it's such a nice way. That was really lovely.
That's good.
Yeah. That rage is supposed to be there. As long as you don't act on it with your family or act on it when you're not supposed to. It's there for fight. You know? You need to fight.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go and carry on in the room, sorting my shit out. To do my clothes and stuff out. And all that.
Okay.
Up through this evening and sort all the stuff out so your place is done. Get your bed sorted out. Only thing you haven't done is your sheet. Just go find that other sheet of yours. Change it around and wash this one. That's it.
Yeah.
Alright, so we'll do that a bit later.
Okay.
Okay. And we're going to sort my place out. Well, then all I have to do is basically move the bed back to my room. Try and get my room sorted out.
Okay.
In between doing my thing here. See you later.
See you later. Yeah, we're almost at the market open for Forex. Look at the 1 minute, look at the 5 minutes. Very interesting. We swept previous day low. Not convincingly, but we did. We sweep there. So I'd assume this would come down and sweep it some more. My opinion, of course. If not, it's just going to straight up push. We look at Euro, guys. Reset the chart. Let's look at the daily. Get rid of the drawings. Okay, what are we doing? We are looking at inversing, so swept a bit of liquidity here, then now we're going to inverse. Okay, let's just look at the 4 hour. We are going into a 4 hour fair value gap. Okay, that's great. At the 15 minutes. Yeah, you are a wild one. Ooh. Okay. We've got a steady stream going down. We have taken liquidity. I would like to see a respect of an hourly or a 4 hourly. So here it is, the hourly fair value gap. 4 hour. It hasn't inversed it yet, but so we have this big 4 hour fair value gap. Very interesting. We've just been climbing down. It's hard to take a long here because of the 4 hour fair value gap below. Let's look at the 3 minutes, see if there was a the 2 minute was pretty clean, not gonna lie. 2 minute was pretty clean. A little bit of a sweep of liquidity there. Accumulation, manipulation up, left the fair value gap, came down, inversed it. You could have put your stop above there. You could have, yeah, that was pretty clean. Good. Hope you guys are having a good day. Okay, our thoughts on Euro. I think, like I said, there's a 4-hour fair value gap below. I think it's going to target that. So until I think it gets there, we don't really focus on it. AUD, USD. Look at Asia session, guys. If you guys are trading Asia session, these are now 2 examples. Okay, 2 examples. Look at this liquidity sweep. Right? Sweep the previous day. Like, Asia session is so good to trade. Holy crap. Let's look at the 15 minutes. I guarantee you there's a clean setup. If this wasn't a fair value gap, this inverse would be so clean. Let's look at the 5 again. Yeah, you could probably get the 5 inverse straight away. Right there. Top above the high. Just play all the way down. Damn. That's why the previous day high and previous day low are so strong. Such a strong draw liquidity. Which is why I talk about it so often. If you do nothing else but wait for a sweep of the previous high or the previous low, provided that there's a massive liquidity on that level, and then you look for an entry in the opposite direction, if you just did that, you'd be a profitable trader at some point. It must be. Like, look at this. Look at this. And there will be days when you see this, and then it shoots back up from here. It just goes up again, sweeps this liquidity, and then goes all the way down. So you will see those days as well. Okay, so that was another trade of the day for AUD. Right, we have I wouldn't say a similar setup here, but we had a very good accumulation period here. So, interesting, I guess. What do you guys see here? Accumulation, lots of it. Manipulation down, sweeping what? The previous day low, respecting a fair value gap, and leaving a fair value gap. So this has the potential right now to come back up in inverse, and maybe we'll wait for it to pump up a little bit, and then we wait for the retracement, and then we get in. That's what it's showing right now, guys. Of course, it could just go all the way down to this line here. It could do that as well. We'll see. We will see. So soon I'm going to be trying a strategy to pass a 25k account, and it's going to be an interesting strategy because it's going to be high risk. So let me draw it up here. We'll see. First thing, it'll be a risking the full risk, so it'll be 1k. No, this is gonna look crap. So one risk full, one trade to make a 1 to 1.5 to pass. So 1 to 1.5. 1k. Because you need 1,500 to pass, guys. Then two risk 500 times 2 3 win strats. 3 win strats. Okay. Now, normally it's 1,250 draw down to fail. So you take 1k, you go big on the first trade, you pass. That looks like this. So let's say we long. I say our stop loss, like let's say here, for example. Say there's the inverse. There's our stop loss. That's all we need right there. There to there, that's all we need. Okay? So let's say that was our passing trade. Boom. Account's now passed, right? Because that is all we needed. Boom. Right? Then you risk 500. So whatever this would be let's say 500, and then you risk this twice to make, like, your goal is to make 2,000. Okay, so you risk 500 to make 2k. Then with draw. Okay, this is just something I'm. Then you have 2K. Okay, let's say slightly over 2K because they take a cut, right? Let's say you left with 2K, right? Equals 1K for accounts, right? Equals 10 attempt to replicate. You now have 10 attempts with 1K to replicate this strategy. A 3-win strat. Technically, it's a 2-win if you can get the 500. If you can get the 500 to a 1 to 4. Okay. So if you do a 1 to 4, let's say you do this, right? And you do this. Okay. So let's say you caught this move. You saw this breakout, you saw the retest, boom. You entered the trade. This is the trade from, was this a trade? No, it wasn't. Was it? Yes, it was. Okay. Let's say yesterday you caught that trade, right? Now it's not a 3-win strat. It's a 2-win strat. Okay. Even better. Now you've got your 2K from this trade, right? You now put 1K aside for 10 attempts. So now you have, so it's a 3/2 win strat. So you go aggressive, guys. This is what I'm testing out. Okay, is that you go big to pass. So you do a 1.5 to pass. Okay, so you risk 1K to make 1.5. So you go big. Okay, once you've passed, that's your first trade. Your second trade, you risk 500 to hopefully make 2K. But if you don't, you've got 2 chances to do it. Okay, so you've got 2 chances to try and get this. And if you, let's say you fail this, the 500, the second trade's a fail. You've now got 500. Okay, you can either make your 500 back on the next trade, so you do a 1-to-1, right? So now you've got 2 attempts again. And then after that, you continue trying to, as long as you keep risking 500, because you'll get there sooner. And it's a quick in and out strategy, and every 2K you make, you withdraw. So 1K for you, 1K for your accounts. Once you have a comfortable buffer of multiple accounts that you can purchase with, like, let's say you got 2K for 20 accounts after a couple cash outs. Okay, then once you have that, you get a fresh account. You start getting more accounts, right? So let's say you have 20 account attempts sitting there. You then go and buy a fresh account, and instead of risking 5, then you just keep risking 100 until that account gets blown. So you risk 1K no matter what. So then you do the same thing, 1K to pass, to 1.5 to pass, and then 1K for a trade like this until you blow that account. Okay, because you will continue to win. Maybe you'll lose, but you've got multiple attempts. So that's how I want to do it going forward, guys. And then ultimately you upgrade from a 20K account, a 25K account, you go to a 100K account. And you do the same thing. That's what I'm going to be testing out soon, guys. So you sit and patiently wait for these setups that we spoke about yesterday. You wait for those setups. You don't just rush into anything. So, for example, this would have been one of the trades you would take. Sweep of liquidity, back up, test, all the way down, right? Euro, it's now starting to, if Euro does a market structure shift and goes all the way up, great, there's fair value gaps up here that it has targets. So if we see a market structure shift, and then we can look at taking along there. AUD, we have a sweep of the lows, the previous day lows, right? So if you look on the smaller time frame, maybe there's a setup there that you could have taken. Sweep, inverse, that would have been more of a break-even trade. So here's another sweep, retest, inverse, retest. I mean, I guess it's a bit of a weird setup, but oh well. So we just have bullish movements there. Okay, so this is interesting. It's bullish, bullish. We could target the highs. This is just inversed. Market structure shift. Should we try it, guys? I think we're a bit late to the party. Wait, units 4. 25K is how much? This Forex. How much is it again? I think it's 1K. This 1% is 2%. Screw it. So it's not 2%. So it's 4%. Okay, I understand. Let's just test it out, guys. Let's test it out. Let's take a little L here and just redo it. Close. Anytime now. %. Why won't it let me auto rejected? Stop loss. 4. Okay, so it won't let me do that. Will it let me do that? Holy crap. 3%. There you go. Jeepers. Seems like this thing won't let me go more than 3%. Interesting. So guys, this is just a test. It's a demo account, so this is okay if it doesn't work. I'm just testing it out. So this I would need 7, 14. So I would need just over 1 to 2, which is around this area here. So we'll see. It's going to come back into this fair value gap, right? Just created. Let's see if it inverses and wrecks us. Then we're going to have to start all over again. I'm just curious because there is accumulation, manipulation into a fair value gap on the 5 minutes. Strong displacement up, inversing this, you know, then coming down into this fair value gap. So if it inverses this current fair value gap, then it'll cook us, which is great. It's fine. We've at least learned. But everything's bullish. There's a market structure shift. So I'm kind of like semi-confident on this one. So we'll see if this works. Time of day is also very important. Okay, so it's almost, what is it? It's 8:51. Interesting. So it has swept London highs. It consolidated, respected a fair value gap here, then shot down into this area. So if I go fibs from here to here, that's quite interesting. Okay, so it looks like we're going to get cooked. But since we have 1,000 to play with, we might actually just drag this down a bit, to be fair. Which is not correct, guys. You're not supposed to do this. But I am. This is a demo account. And I want to give it until the candle close, which is 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Because this could come down, create a big wick, and then close here. So you don't want to get wicked out. So you got to give it at least a little bit of space to breathe. Everything's bullish. It hasn't taken previous, well, it's created new highs in Asia. So it'll be interesting if this one doesn't work. Very interesting, actually. This one's also very interesting. See how the wicker was created? This is where I should have entered, but I saw the inverse and I thought it was just going to go, so it's fine. 1 minute and 30 seconds. Let's see if analysis was correct. This is not an A+ setup, guys, just so you know. It's nowhere near an A+ setup. It is just me testing out a theory. I'm also working a lot with the indicator, so I want to see how close the indicator is to being correct in the situation. We have a 4 hour that it's respecting, but we respect it off a 4 hour to come up here. So I want to see how long we have for the 4 hour. Another hour and 5 minutes. Interesting. So we have 40 seconds, basically. If this candle inverses in the 40 seconds and closes here somewhere, then it'll cook us, basically. But if it does not inverse this fair value gap, where I'll draw a fair value gap, this. If it closes below this fair value gap in 18 seconds, then this trader is done for. Cooked. Absolutely cooked. Let's see. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and it's cooked. You see it melt now, watch. Boom. I'll be very surprised if this goes up. Very surprised. The only way I think this recovers is if this comes down to like here, leaves a fair value gap, a bearish fair value gap here again, and then it comes up to inverse that fair value gap and then goes. I think that's the only way it survives. It doesn't just go up here, I don't think. So it looks like this liquidity here is what it's hunting. Let's see. So this setup might look good, right? And if this was a previous day low or external liquidity sweep, then yes, this setup would be perfect, right? But because we have now swept London highs, this could just be the manipulation up for a distribution down. So let's look at the, yeah, you see accumulation on the smaller time frame, pump up, inverse, pump up, inverse, pump up, basically inverse, down, up, retest. So this literally could just be the pump down, which will be great. I mean, it doesn't matter to me either way. Oh well. As this candle inversed the square, we knew that this trade was cooked. So I would have normally exited right there as it closed. But because this is just an experiment, we're gonna just leave it and let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let's see if there's a interesting AMD setup somewhere here. Because this is an interesting. I don't see it. Plus, we did not look at ES. We just sort of went for it. So if you look at ES, that was a strong inverse for ES. It is still respecting a fair value gap here. So we could get away with this. We actually could get away with it, to be honest. But it's very unlikely, guys. Very, very unlikely. Is there an SMT formed? There is actually a small SMT. Here to here. there to there. Very small, but it is there. So like I said, like I've literally just said, the only way for this trade to work is for it to create a fair value gap on the bearish candle here, and for it to now inverse and then go up. If we get an inverse here, then it's GG. Game over, set, match. It's gonna shoot up. See, there's the fair value gap. Okay, now that's multiple fair value gaps in one place, which means the second that this breaks in either direction, that's a GG. Okay, let's see if there's an inverse, guys. If it respects the fair value gap, we cooked. At least see if there's an inverse. If there's an inverse, I will add by adding ES into the picture. Oh well, isn't this fun, guys? Isn't this amazing? Oh, excuse me. So gold has come down to sweep liquidity, which is great. That's exactly what we thought it would do. It could create if it's a big sweep, creating a fair value gap here, and it inverses, there's the accumulation. So you can consider that to be an AMD setup, especially on the 3, the 2, and the 1. So you need to look out for this. But we need a sweep. We can't stay here. We need a sweep down here. It's just that simple. I think we're going to get cooked with NASDAQ. Yes, it's rejecting this fair value gap. I would need both of them to inverse if it's going to go long. It's okay if it loses. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna work. It could work, but now rejecting massively from this fair value gap, so we're probably gonna get cooked in this one, guys. I'll be very surprised. But I tried before 9:30 trade. It was also a bigger mistake than I should have really anticipated for. I think this looks good, but it's still not what I was looking for. You know, he has a sweep and liquidity, which is great. You're failing to do this one, which is not good. It's taking the bodies, but that kind of means nothing for us. Three-minute fair value gap. 5 minutes not created. 2-minute created. 1 minute created. All three needs to be inversed. Two minutes 15, 1 minute 14, 14 or 11 seconds. Yes, it's gonna cook us for NASDAQ. Haha. Very interesting. Holy. Yeah, here's the cook coming. The retest. The retest is there, guys. We're gonna get smoked. If there's a huge rejection and an inverse here, that's going to be crazy if that is the case. That's going to knock us out. How are we still in this trade? There you go. So we reset. That's the beauty of having a paper, is that you can test these things out. And by the way, guys, like I said, this is nowhere near an A+ setup, because we are delivering, yes, from a 15-minute fair value gap. We're in the middle of the range, so okay. So this theory of going up from there to there is absolutely completely wrong. I genuinely thought that was going to happen. So basically we have a big inverse, well, a big fair value gap. We've now created another one that we're respecting, and if it inverses, this could be the one. It's just the problem is this: it did not inverse. I mean, sweep liquidity. I'm actually on the tired side, guys, so I apologize. I know you guys, chat has calmed down a lot. There's only one person I think looking at a time, so I don't yap on as much these days because of that. In the beginning, where everyone showed love, support, I appreciate that. I would yap on for a while because I was like, okay, there's a lot of people here, let me entertain them. Now it feels like I'm really talking to myself, so I'm just sort of streaming for my own accountability, I guess. Normally my callouts are pretty good, guys. The last day or two has been average. Before that, the day before that was terrible. Okay, we're gonna have to see what happens when market opens. So this is a key level, guys. I'm hoping that it comes down a bit further, sweeps this, and then moves up. That'll be a really good gold trade if that's the case. I might start looking at Asia session a little bit more, guys. Because, I mean, look at this. Up, inverse. Like, if I see this, like, yeah. One, two. In a second, guys. I'm just going to do one or two stretches, yeah. Stretched. Ready to go. So that was the problem with doing the AMD strategy in the middle here, and there's no bigger sweep on liquidity, I would say. Gold really needs to come down again to this area and then reject up. I would say that's the entry personally I would have preferred to look at. Okay, euro. Let's just look at the higher time frame a little bit here. I want to see if this is a reversal up. So we have a fair value gap it's respecting there. Let's look at the 4-hour. It kind of almost tapped into the 4-hour, so I'm not too sure if this is a reversal yet. You know, this could just be a small pullback to come down. It has taken London lows twice. This could be, if we see a push up and a pullback into a fair value gap around this area, we could take a long up. But I think here would be a bit too risky. A little bit too risky. Let's see. Let's see. 1, 2, 1, 2. Hello. 1, 2. Okay. Testing out some of these. Hello. 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 Let's test this one out. Hello. Oh, what's up? This one sounds pretty cool. Hey. What up, what up? Dr. Apocalypse. Let's see. Is this one probably cool? Yeah, we could use this one. What about this one? Nah, not this one. Hello, hello. What's up? What's up? I think this one could be cool. Hey. Let's see. Let's use this one. Let's use this one while we're chatting. Let me try to pull up the stream a little bit just to see. Kick. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Hello, guys. Hello, guys. It's not actually changing it. What's the point? Guess we just carry on like normal. Okay. We have a sweep of liquidity on GPP JPY, respecting a higher front time frame fair value gap. Sorry, inversing, not respecting. It did inverse, but it is an external liquidity sweep. So this could technically keep going. So I think if there's if it respects it or inverses it, yeah. Okay, so if this inverses, then we can go for it. If it doesn't, then it's going down. So we will see. And the only reason I'm considering along here is because, number one, it did sweep this liquidity, but it inversed this fair value gap here. So it does look interesting. But we'll see. Almost market open. I want this to come down a bit during market open. Inverse the fair value gap and then pump. That is what I will look for. It is respecting a 15. So there is signs that this could be another shot here. It's right up on market open, so we have another situation like this. Market open. That is market open. Let's see. Strong inverse. Everything's bullish at the moment. Wonder if I should just... Nah. We have an inverse there, we have an inverse there, but then we have a dump. Very interesting. Very interesting. Come on, gold. Shoot down, sweep this liquidity, create a fair value gap, and give me an entry. Euro's looking like it might want to shoot. This could actually go, you know that. It has not tapped the fair value gap yet. I'd prefer this to come down to this area here, for example, and then go up. Both gold and euro need to come down a bit more to liquidity levels. Okay. Opening isn't as eventful, maybe on NASDAQ, but we have a sweep of liquidity, an inverse that potentially could go up. If it respects this, let's see here. So the 1 minute on bit of an SMT, so shorts could come into play. I was really hoping for it to shoot up around this area and then look for shorts, but we'll see. Okay, so there's the inverse. Let's try this. Stop loss there. 3. Okay, let's go for it. So it's just for shits and giggles. I hope nobody's trying this out. Just doing it for shits and giggles. Ideally, we would have got we would have taken it there. Stop loss below the lows, but because it went slightly higher, we just put our stop loss there. It inversed on it was pumping with ES, Nasdaq. Technically there's an SMT, so this is not a good trade at all, but I'm just trying it out. I want to see how far I need to get in order to do a one trade pass. There's an SMT here on the 1 minute, so this is not good at all. So you probably should be looking for shorts, not longs right now. But my dumbass is taking longs for some strange reason. So see how there's a fair value gap, but not one on ES? Yeah. Also, if ES comes up and takes this previous day high, then Nasdaq doesn't have to, so hopefully they move up together. A lot of times this move here is just a weird move. It's not the real move of the day. We swept liquidity down here. There's a few reasons why this could work, but there's a bunch of reasons why it shouldn't work. So I'm not holding my breath. Let's see if we can get lucky today. Which we won't get. I knew this was going to happen because of the SMT. I even told you guys there was an SMT. So we're just doing this for shits and giggles, guys. Today is just an experiment. We're just experimenting. And I'm able to experiment because I got like one person, I think, watching. So it's pretty cool. I can just fuck around, basically. Thank God there's not people copying what I'm doing. So this, I think, targets the previous day high. And if that is the case, then this trade will be a winning trade. Okay. Or Asia highs. If ES targets Asia highs, that'll be great. And then hopefully we can catch the short on the way down. So if this does target up here, hopefully we can catch a short. And that SMT didn't mean too much, but normally when an SMT forms like that, it's going to go short. Then again, there's an SMT as well. So let's just put this at the lows. Let's do that because there is an SMT here. If there wasn't an SMT here and there was just one at the top, then sure. Let's give it a bit more room to play. Since this is a demo, it doesn't really matter. I think that this could potentially come up. Yes, could come up here. If that's the case, then I mean, not here to Asia highs. If that's the case, then we're good. Everything's bullish. Market structure shift bullish. 4 hour, 1 hour, everything's bullish. But again, it could just wreck us here. So the first SMT is not obviously the one that's valid. Now the second one is obviously the more valid one. Good to know. Asia highs I thought would be a great liquidity area to target, but seems like I was incorrect. Great. Good to know. Knock me out. Knock me out. It's going London lows. There you go. So once again, incorrect. So today is a hell of a day. We have just been wrong consistently. So let's reset this because we can. Reset 25. Just because we can, and I don't care. Wow, okay. So note to Sean, first 45 minutes you do not, first 15 minutes you do not trade. First 15 minutes of open you do not touch the charts. Great stuff. Okay, let's look at gold. Of course, gold does exactly what I said it should not do. So it's very hard to long gold here. Very hard. Because this could be a manipulation to come down here. So if it inverses, then that's where all the targets that I'm looking at today are either hit when I'm not looking at them, and now it don't make sense. This one's melting for some reason. Okay. Today it just doesn't make sense on the charts. Do you know how many days I've called out trades that work out perfectly? And today just nothing makes sense. Like I'm looking at this and going, I wish this white line here was this white line, because then I'd be like, oh, amazing respect there long. But it doesn't seem to be that way. What's that?
Experiment.
Which is?
Which is grated potatoes with egg and spices and cooked. It's hot. Here, with a spoon and mayo.
Okay.
Try it. If you don't like it, not too bad.
Interesting. Sweep, yeah. Well, today's just one of those days. There you go. Okay. There's a sweep. That's what we were looking for. Now we look for an inverse to go up. That's the sweep. I'm looking for this 5 minute to be inverse now. Let's turn this off. I'm looking for this because that's just distracting. I want this to be inversed. It's now respecting a 4 hour. So if I go like this, 4 hour being respected. Obviously, guys, if it just melts, it melts. I don't care. Then we just sort of say hello, cheers. But I'm looking for that 5 minute right there to be inversed. There's a 3 minutes, 2 minutes, and of course a 1 minute. All of that needs to be inversed at the same time. If that doesn't happen, you see, those other ones I was doing were just for shits and giggles. You know? So if I'm trading my live accounts, this is the type of trade I would look for. And if it didn't present, then it doesn't present. You see, guys, this was our target from the beginning. Liquidity sweep. 4-hour fair value gap respected. Hopefully. In 22 seconds, don't disrespect it, then obviously this trade is not going to be valid. There's the 5-minute form. This is now the trade that we are looking for, guys. You want this candle or the next candle to close here. It needs to close here. Not here. If this comes up, respects the fair value gap and melts, so be it. But that's not what we're looking for. Okay, we have another sweep of the London lows. So this could still present as a long. Okay, we have an AUD sweep. Okay, there's no fair value gap there. Respecting an hourly. It is respecting an hourly, which means there's a potential for a reversal here. So again, this could be a potential long for this pair. However, there's a multiple fair value gap, so we at least need to inverse here. You would need to, I'm drawing the fair value gap from here. Yeah. You would need an inverse there. This is the AMD setup model, guys. Accumulation. Let's draw this up. Okay, accumulation. Manipulation. And hopefully distribution. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Respecting a fair value gap on the higher time frame, sweeping liquidity. All the ingredients are here. Let's see if it works. The only thing that'll work against us is the bias. Is it more bearish than bullish? But this is gold, remember, so gold is a bit of a mean bastard sometimes. External liquidity sweep, respecting a higher time frame fair value gap. Let's see if it bounces off it or if we just keep melting. Okay, it's just left an imbalance here, which is a fair value gap. Accumulation, manipulation down. Let's see if it inverses and comes back up. All this accumulation would have left a bit of orders at the top here. So let's see, are we going to hunt the higher time frame up or are we not? The indicator says we're not. Okay. So the indicator says no. Now let's see who's right. This needs to come up with a strong candle and close here for this to be a potential long. Because then you can target Asia highs. We have accumulation forming on euro. So if we have a strong push down, sweeping a bunch of liquidity, inverse, then we can go up. Vice versa, if we have a strong push up, sweeping a bunch of liquidity here, and then we can inverse to come down. I'd prefer to go up, to be honest, but that's just me. I don't know if this technically would classify. I would want more of a push. On the smaller time frames, it kind of does look decent. Okay, so there's another fair value gap down here. Could be hunting a little bit of that. Not ideal, but still have a minute and 24 seconds for this 5-minute candle that we are trying to look at. Nice reaction from that. Once again, as long as it doesn't inverse this fair value gap it's in now, then I believe we should come up and preferably inverse the one that I've drawn out. Nasdaq is just moving, I guess. I'm gonna wait for 10:30. Okay, so I would prefer to see this push down and form a big 4-hour wick. So then push down into the fair value gap and then form a wick and then take a long up. I don't like to, so it needs to come down a little bit more for Nasdaq. Nasdaq can push down to like here and then come up and inverse the fair value gap so that we can go long. I prefer that because then it creates the 4-hour wick. This is still creating a 4-hour wick, but I prefer it to tap into the fair value gap. Honestly, because it's kind of, this 4 hours now inversed, right? So technically it's inversed on the 4. So we are looking at going down, but I'd prefer it if it did it the other way around. Okay, so here we go, guys. This is what we're looking for. This is the trade we are looking for. Potentially. Look at the 15. If this trade doesn't inverse here, I don't know if I'll take a short here because it's not a discount. It's now, if this was up here, then different story, but it's pushed all the way down here. So we are looking for it to inverse this fair value gap. Is everyone, whoever's watching, is anybody unsure? Because this is a key level, because this is a liquidity sweep respecting a fair value gap on the higher time frame. This fair value gap now is so key that it's either going to respect this fair value gap, and because of that fair value gap, it's going to come all the way down here, I would say. You can then start hunting a ton of liquidity down here, right? Which it kind of looks like is happening. We just tapped into it and now we're dumping. So it's 50-50. You could have either taken a short as it started to move out, take the short, stop loss above the fair value gap and target all this bottom's liquidity. Or you do what I'm doing and you wait for the inverse. And if it does inverse, then we know of the direction and we know how everything's going. Well, we hope we know. And if it dumps, then it just means that I have to sit there and wait. That's all. Okay, here's an example. Sweep London lows, respecting a higher time frame fair value gap. Okay. We're coming up, we're inversing, but it needs to inverse on all time frames. So let's just draw up the long there. Stop there to there. Okay, so let's just put this in here. Copy. Stop loss. Paste. 3. This needs to inverse. So the 3 minutes. Let's just see the 2 minutes. Okay, the 3 and the 2 are aligned time-wise. And of course you've got then the 1. So the 5 minute, yeah, the 5 minute needs to close here somewhere for this to be valid. If the 5 minute closes up here somewhere, or the trade closes up here, then this is too big, so it's not really a nice inverse. So if it closes slightly higher than we want it, the obvious next thing is that instead of taking it up here, you wait for a retest into a fair value gap that was created. That's the solution. So we could get an inverse here, which is great, but then we have to wait for the 5 minute. We can't just get in at the 3 and the 2 and the 1 inverse. Okay, we can't just do that. So 24 seconds, let's see, 20 seconds. If the 3 and the 2 in like close here, then all we do is wait for the 5 and then we are sorted. Okay, so the 2's actually got a fair value gap here, but we could, okay, it's not doing it. Interesting. Closing just below. Okay, so now all time frames are aligned besides the 2. What am I saying? Well, we'll see. Gold is struggling here, so I think when it does, if because of all this accumulation, when it does close here straight away, get in. Don't wait for a retest, and then because I don't think it will be a retest. That's my opinion. So here's a strong close on the 5 would be great. That's 2 minutes from now. That's 2 minutes from now, hopefully. If the 3 and the 2 at the 3 and the 5 close like that, what we can do is we could push the stop loss to the body there, which I think is better. So if we do this, copy, change this. I think that's better because this is going to close up here somewhere. 2 minutes, 30 seconds, 1 minute 30. So the 2 is not going to align with the final close, which I can live with, but it's not ideal. There are fair value gaps down here, so you can put maybe a limit order. So we still have 1 minute to go, and look at it go. So I think we're going to have to do a retest. If it doesn't come down to retest, then so be it. So I think our entry, if I go limit order, yeah, limit order will be here. I think that's the limit. You said you put eggs in it. Should have done a fried egg and just put it on top. Okay, guys, so we put the limit order in. Let's see. Limit. There. So now we have a limit order. Reason why we have the limit order is because it gives time for the 2-minute to inverse number 1, which it has done. Okay. So we have inverses on all of it. There is a fair value gap below. So I'm expecting this to come back down at least to the fair value gap that it inversed. Okay. So on the 5, it'll be here. So I'm expecting price to come down here. That's my expectation. It doesn't have to. It can just explode from here. Great stuff. But I think that price will come down into this area at least and get us in the trade. Let's look at the 15. Okay, so the 15 basically almost inversed. So we almost had an inverse on the 15. So we'll see. We'll leave the limit order there. If we get tagged in, we get tagged in. If we don't, we don't. It's fine. Okay, let's see if it triggers us or not. Gold, I'm not too sure about now. It's just stalling. Let's put a line here. Alerts. Okay. Don't know why I'm doing this, because it will tell me when I'm triggered in. Almost like I did a double alert. It's insane. Might just leave us behind, but oh well, that's life. So the 2 trades that I've seriously considered is this one and gold. Those are the only 2 trades. The others are just for shits and giggles and just trying shit out. Okay. Gold is using this, it seems like, to go further down, which is, it is what it is. I would prefer for this to come down and trigger us in, and then obviously work its way up. Are we going to get triggered in, guys, or is AUD just going to pump and leave us? That is the question of the day. Let's see, guys. If there's strong momentum, then it might just tap into the fair value gap that it is now and then pump, but then we won't get tapped in. So we'll see. So guys, if you are strict with the closes, you would take it here, okay? But your stop loss would have to either be just the side of the fair value gap, which is okay, I guess. But I'm waiting for a pullback into this area and then for it to go. If there's no pullback, it is what it is. We will then accept the fact that we did not get into a trade today. So there's the 2-minute inverse. Boom, boom. There's the oh, that's gonna be juicy. There's the inverse. Market structure shift. Okay. Could look at something like this. If it does pull back into this fair value gap, then we can look at that maybe. Since ES is pumping, or has pumped already, cheapest. There is an SMT forming, so this might not be the best idea in the world. I think we've missed out on this trade, which is, it is what it is. Yeah, guess that's it. It's fine. Gold used this fair value gap to basically dump even further. We missed once again we've missed probably the trade of the day for Nasdaq. Okay, we have the retest. It hasn't taken previous day highs yet. I mean, Asia highs. So this could be a run up. There's an inversion. I think we go for it. We go for it because of what this is doing. But because we're going for it, it will go in the other direction now. There is an inversion, which goes against what I normally trade. So This goes against everything. 15-minute being respected. SMT formed. This is just bullshit trading right here. See the SMT form there to there. So already I knew we already lost one from the SMT formed. And now this pump up, and we think that we're gonna get the long. Oh, we're getting absolutely smoked today. It's okay though, we're learning lessons, which is good. This fair value gap could still be respected, even though this got inversed. This was just an impulse entry because I'm fucking around with a demo account, guys. So this is okay to do. It's not okay to do, but I already have my trade set here. Right, I have my limit orders set here. I wanted this to inverse, so these two are the ones that I'm actually focused on. Nasdaq is just stuffing around. We get the first push, retest, second push, you know, that type of continuation trade, based on this movement. But now based on this candle, it just looks crap. So the inverse was there. We saw the inverse. We shouldn't have taken that. That was a clear sign not to take the trade, which is why I took the trade, because a lot of the opposite strategy people that are trying to trade the opposite strategy. See, you have to look at it like this. There's the SMT. I said there was an SMT. There to there and there to there, right? I said there's an SMT. Then there was an inverse and I went long. Literally 100% against everything I trade with. So this was just for shits and giggles, you know? This was, oh, well, let's see if it works. I knew it wasn't going to work. There's the fair value gap that got inversed. There's the SMT. It's that simple, right? The only thing that could have made this Nasdaq trade go up was the fact that this did not get inversed. This got respected. So Nasdaq is just full of shit. It tells you, it literally screams at you, short, 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 but you then have to figure out where to go short. Now you could have easily gone, cool, SMT, inverse, here's my short position, bang, stop loss above there, and gone, there you go, there's your trade, right? The problem is that you've now inversed there, so there's multiple inverses. How do you know which one is the one to use, right? So yeah, gold is a waste of time at the moment because I was looking at it for a long position, but of course now that I look at it for longs, it decides to go shorts, which is fine. I always knew that was going to be the case. AUD could trigger us in now. Hopefully it does. We'll see. I still think that this could push up. Hopefully this triggers us in. If not, it is what it is. Let's see. We've just been getting wrecked, left, right, and center. But the one that I actually care about is this one. I don't care about these ones. These ones I'm just trying for shits and giggles. You have to understand that, guys. Nasdaq here is just a tester for shits and giggles. Because you never know where this bitch is going. You never know. Excuse my French. The actual trade that I'm more cared about is this one. This is the one I care about. This one is no longer valid. It's not going to work at all. We used this fair value gap to just dump. It's now inversed, so just when you think gold can just go up, because if you look at the daily, look at this. Look at this. Up, but when you decide to take longs, this is what happens. So if you guys wanted shorts earlier on, I should have just started longing the market for gold, and then it would have just shorted. Watch it not even come in here and tap me. It's okay. I think that's the way to go there. Cancel, yes. Just to get in. Market, stop, here, paste, 3, bar. Obviously this did not want to work. Of course. Can you at least get me in? Yes, no? Hello? Is this not working anymore? Very interesting. Error. Connect. Can you just... What is happening? The one time I have issues, watch it just shoot up. Say sorry. Paper trading not available. Watch this trade work now, guys. Guaranteed. You have no idea the Sean curse. You have no idea the Sean curse, guys. We just got wrecked a couple times here, right? Let's see the one trade that we actually want to take. The one trade we actually want to take. Let's see what happens to it, guys. Okay? You're witnessing history. Let's see. Let's see, guys. Let's see. Okay, so this was another trade. So this would have been... It would have been difficult because this did not inverse on ES. So, it's, yeah. Today was just shitty. I think I'm just going to call it there, guys. I'm actually tired. I know this trade here might just pump up. But I'm going to call it there. It's just a bit frustrating. Paper trading is not working all of a sudden. For some reason. Good luck with today, guys. Hope you have a good day. For the one person that's probably watching. Sorry about that. And take care. Have a good one.